Editing your book. A couple of options when it comes to editing your book. One is edit it yourself. Once again, generally the dream book. I wrote this book, I want to be the one to edit it, I'm not letting anyone else touch my book. Not necessarily the best way to go about it, but quite popular. Second area is to edit it yourself and use a professional proofreader. So you have a look at it, but then you pass it on to someone that may be a little bit more qualified in editing than you are. Not necessarily in your subject matter, they generally know a lot less about whatever you're writing about, but they're qualified to do the proofreading side of things. That's generally the passive income book. I want to make money from this book, so I want to make sure it's right. Third area is to have your book professionally edited, completely. Don't even look at it yourself. This is generally the publicity book because they don't have time to edit their own book. An ideal form of editing is actually none of these options. These are the most common options that people generally pick, but an ideal combination actually combines all three. You should always edit your own book. Not because you're necessarily the world's best editor, but because you wrote it and you know your subject matter better than anyone else. So you want to make sure that your book is saying what you intended it to say. You must also always get someone else to edit your book, and not one person, two. You want at least two other people other than yourself to be looking at your book. An ideal combination, for example, would be once your book is finished written, and only once you've finished writing your book, not halfway through the process. A common mistake a lot of authors make is to edit as they go. They stay on chapter 1 for a long time. What you want to do is you want to be finishing your whole book and then editing your whole book once. Once you've done that, you want to put it onto your first proofreader, get them to look at it. Once you get it back from them, edit it again. You want to check that the grammatical errors and things that they picked up and changed isn't actually the core of your book, something that they don't understand because it's your subject matter that is very important, and without it, the essence of your book will not be correct. Then I generally recommend actually passing it on to the designer. Sending it ahead, and we're not even up to that step yet, but sending it on to the design process. Reason being, if your second proofreader looks at your book after it's already been laid in its final context, they're seeing a completely different thing to that person that looked at the original Word file. Very important to have the two steps because they're going to pick up different things now the text looks different. And then once again, after that person, you edit it yourself. You want to check before it goes to print that you're completely happy with what's in there. So my recommendation is a lengthy process, but I think those 5 steps are very important.